Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is the channel where we create the atmosphere for you to celebrate your grace, beauty, and style. My name is Tanya, and I should be welcoming myself back to the YouTube streets. Yes, I know I have been missing in action for about 3 months now. I believe my last video was all the way back in February. I tell you, I've had a lot going on for the past 3 months, and I want to share that with you, catch you up on what's been going on. But I also wanted to make this video because of the new dress that I just made. It's a NewLook dress. It's a faux wrap. I absolutely love it. I love how it all came together, and I want to share some tips with you on this dress. That is my main purpose for doing this. And also, I miss you guys. It's been a while. I've been following you all and watching your videos as well. But I just thank you for clicking the play button this time around because it has been a while for me. Now, I've added some things to my sewing room. You may see a couple of new things in the background there, but I will explain all of that as well. I also want to share with you what I've been working on for the past 3 months because I have been sewing. I started off with one shirt and it has built into a collection, what I am calling my brown collection. And I'm excited to give you a sneak peek today, but I'm going to leave those details for some videos that will be coming up about each individual pattern that I've used for that collection. I'm so excited about that. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this video. I know you want to hear what's been going on with me for the past 3 months, and I would love to share with you this beautiful dress that I have on. So let's get started. All right, let's get started with this pattern. It is NewLook 6301. And yes, I was one of the ones that went out to Hobby Lobby when they had the 99-cent sale on patterns. And I probably picked up about a good 10 patterns. I was looking for a wrap dress, well, a faux wrap dress. I'm not too crazy about an actual wrap dress because I'm always afraid that it's gonna come apart on me. So I love the faux wrap. So as you see, there are 4 different views. You have your different sleeve lengths available. Then you have the fit and flare and the straight dress here. And it's made for knit fabrics. I got this knit from one of my favorite places, which is Fabric World in Stone Mountain. Let's see, I did size 20, which is for a bust size of 43.5. And my bust size is a 44. So because it is a knit, I knew that it had some give to it, some stretch, and that I would be able to fit this even though it was for a bust size of 43.5. So if you pick up this pattern and you don't have any current fabric to use for it and you have to go out and purchase your fabric, you may want to take your pattern with you so that you can use the gauge in the back, okay? Now, there are a couple of adjustments that I made. Even though this is a size 20 and you have that 5/8 seam allowance, for the top portion of this, I only did a 3/8. I wanted to give myself some extra room. I didn't want it to look like it was stretching or overly being stretched. So I gave myself that additional room at the top here by only doing a 3/8 at the top on the sides. I still did a 5/8 here on my shoulder. And for the skirt portion, I started off with a 3/8. And I kind of just glided down to a 5/8 as it was going down with the A length of the skirt portion of it. Now, there are a few things you want to pay attention to with this particular pattern. I am so used to placing my pattern pieces on the wrong side of the fabric. So hold on, let me get the instructions here. For this particular pattern, what is the right side and wrong side, the shaded areas are different, okay? So usually, as you see here, when you see the blank side versus the shaded side, usually the shaded side is the fabric, the printed side, but not for this pattern. It is the solid part that is actually the printed side should be up, and you should place your pattern pieces on top of the printed side. I did it backwards. So my left front and right front is the opposite way, right? It still works out, but you're going to notice some pleats. Let me show it here because you can see it a little bit better. You'll notice some pleats, and the way that the pleats are set in this direction, my pleats are just set in the opposite direction. So it still came out just fine. I will make this dress again. I do have some more knit fabric. It is a navy blue with some flowers on it. But this time I'll do it the right side of the fabric, placing the pattern pieces. Okay, so keep that in mind, because, you know, sometimes we just go through the motions of what we know, right? What the shaded side is usually the right side of the fabric, okay? So that threw me off just a little bit, so I made a note with that. What else do we have here? All right, step number 8. I made a little note here. Step number 8, when you're crossing over your left side and your right side here, you're going to have to baste around the sides and at the bottom and on this side as well. Just remember to keep the back side away from this. You're not going to baste it all together. You're only basting the front bodice pieces together, okay? So you might want to make a little note for step number 8, only baste the front. Because what I did was I clipped them all together, the back bodice with the fronts. But before I start sewing, I realized my mistake, and then I had to just repin just the front side of that, okay? So that's another little tip. The next tip, this has ruching on the sleeves. I love the ruching on the sleeves. It was simple, maybe like a 4-inch elastic, and you just stretch it to fit that line that's there. So the next time I make this dress and with my sleeves, I'm going to hem this area before I close the sleeve up, right? Because it was kind of difficult to get this hem together here. I had to try it a couple of times before it actually looked nice and neat. I think it would be easier if you're going to do it with a cover stitch machine. That's one of the new items that I got in my sewing room, is a cover stitch machine. So excited about that. And I'll tell you how all that happened there. But it was a little difficult doing the arm. Although there's a little area on the machine to slip in your arm, but you got to kind of stretch the fabric. It just wasn't working out with this particular sleeve and the thinness of this fabric as well. So the next time when the sleeve is flat, I will hem the sleeve up first before doing this seam. I hope all of that makes sense to you, but it's just a suggestion to make it a little bit easier for you if you're okay with sewing it up first, because I know sometimes you want to get a gauge of how long your sleeve is going to be, but this covers my elbow, and I felt like it would have been just fine for me to fold that under before doing the seam of the sleeve, okay? So overall, this was an easy pattern to make. This pattern consists of, I think it was 8 pattern pieces. 2 of your front, your back, your front and back of your skirt, your sleeve, and your neckband. So that's 7 pattern pieces all together. And the great thing about the skirt is that it is both your front and the back is on the fold. So your seam is going to be on the side instead of the front. So I love the way that came out. It's always good if you have like a big print to have the seams on the side versus a seam in the center. So I love that about this pattern. Of course, I love the ruching here. Your only real notion for this is elastic, 1/4 inch elastic. That's going to be used for the sleeve and also your waist has that elastic in it as well. So, okay, let me show you the pleats here. There's pleats going here that takes it all the way over to the side. In the inside, there's also a pleat in the middle that's going to help give it some structure here in the center. There is elastic in the waist. So when you take your tie off, you're going to see that there's elastic in the waist. You can see that from the back side a little bit. And your ties are actually sewn into your seam on the side. That way you don't lose your tie. You can just tie it in the back if you like, or you can wrap it in the back and bring it to the front and make it a tie so it'll look like an actual wrap. But I love the V of this. It doesn't come down. Usually when I have on wrap dresses or something, I always got to stick a pin in here because it always comes too far down. I feel like this is a comfortable V neck for me. And the more you adjust this on the side, it'll pull that up there, right? So I love it. I love it all the way around. I love the different little features about this dress here. Okay, let's take a look at some photos. And I also have a short video for you as well so you can see how it flows. I love that fit and flare look. It fits my shape perfectly, but you're gonna see it in action. So let's take a look at it over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of update of what's been going on with me for the past 3 months or so here. Well, to begin with, I think it was around the end of February, early March, I went to a craft show here in the Atlanta area. I had been looking for an embroidery machine. Let me unveil this as I am talking. And so when I went to the craft show, I was motivated to take a step forward to go ahead and purchase an embroidery machine. I ended up going back to the dealer where I bought my original Janome from. I was checking out this lovely machine right here. There's the Janome Memory Craft 500E. And he was going to give me a good deal on it. I told him I had to sleep on it to figure out, is this what I really wanted? I kind of wanted to stay with the same brand because I knew Janome brand. I love the brand. It seems like a reliable brand. And it's a pretty reasonable price range when you compare it to some other brands as well. While I was there, I came back to the dealer. He showed me a few things. And of course, I went online. I started researching about the machine, features of the machine, and I went ahead and purchased it. At the same time, I saw this cover stitch machine. This was probably my next goal. You know, cover stitch machine, it costs you a lot, right? A lot, almost, yeah. I don't even know the real prices, but he told me to look this up. So I looked this up. It was about $900, a little over $900 online. That's not in my budget for that day. But he said he would give it to me for $400. Well, since I was in there, I told him, okay, I'll get it. You can't beat $400. So I went ahead and purchased that. I had to give him a separate card. He actually had a tag on this and was going to sell it for $15. Hold on, let me get the tag and I'm going to show you. So he serviced this. Someone traded this in. So it's not a brand new machine. The person who traded it in barely used the machine because it still had the factory thread on it. So they did some cleaning and serviced the machine, and they put it out on the sales floor. I'm going to show you the price tag that they were going to put this on the floor with this price tag. Mind you, online it was $900. He sold it to me for $400. But look at that price. They were going to put it on sale for $1,600. That cover stitch. Yes. So I feel like even if it's not this price, going online and checking some of the other prices on this, $900 to $400, I just had to get that. So between March and probably last month, all I was doing is researching, looking at embroidery videos, just really diving deep in on how to use my machine. So that got me sidetracked a little bit by not doing my own videos, because I'm watching other people's videos and really getting excited to learn about my machine. So that's part of the reason why I kind of put my videos to the side. In the meantime, I was sewing and trying to figure out some things that I can embroider on. I made a vest. Let me show you that vest as well. Hold on. So here's the vest. And one of the first pieces that I embroidered right there. I'm not sure, this might be a butterick pattern, but once I figure out what this pattern is, I'll do a review on this as well. So just going through the house to figure out what I can embroider, right? Whether it's towels. I made my coworker, her baby turned 1 year old this year, last month, the end of last month. So I made a hooded towel set for her, and I'll put in some pictures so you can see how that came out. So that kind of kept me busy and just consuming all this information about embroidery machines. It's like going down that rabbit hole. That's what I went down, a rabbit hole for almost 3 months with these machines here. But it's been exciting. And at the same time, I've been sewing some things for myself, and I'll show you a quick peek of some of the things that I've been sewing. Okay, so that vest was Simplicity $14.99. So I'll end up doing a review for that. I sewed this Nomi pattern 2052, the top. I made this twice. I loved it so much. It is an oversized top. I downsized it. I actually made a size 8. I should have made a 10, but it still fits with a size 8. But normally I probably would have been at 18, 20 range, but it was that oversized, and I really didn't want that oversized look. So I did go all the way down to an 8, but we'll talk about this in another video when I go on the details about this. So let me show you what that looks like. Here is view number 1, the first one that I made. And you'll see the details of my sleeves. I can't wait to tell you about how that came along. And let me show you the second one. Okay, so here's a sneak peek of my brown collection. Here is the Nomi second button up. So I'm still working on that. I still need to add the buttons to that. I'm not going to add the pocket like I did the last time. So my marking is there for the pocket, but I decided not to add the pocket. And this is butterick pattern with the vest and the pants. I still need to hem the pants. And then this is another dress that we'll talk about, but this is the sneak peek of my brown collection. So as you see here, my table is full of machines, and I cleared out a space on the other side of my table. I have a cabinet downstairs. It's like a 2-drawer filing cabinet. It's solid wood, and I'm trying to bring that up from my basement so that I can put the embroidery machine on there. So right now I don't have a whole lot of room. I kind of have to take one machine off to work on. I still have my serger, my Singer serger, which I have to bring on the table if I'm going to serge, or if I'm going to use the cover stitch, then I have to pull that forward. It's a whole lot going on over here in this sewing room with all my toys and gadgets that I have been collecting over the past few months. But we're going to get that all taken care of. Yes, we're going to get all that taken care of soon. But yes, I do need to make some room for all of my lovely toys that I have. Now, just personally, I have been trying to be present in what's going on in life. A whole lot is going on at work. I'm in the process of getting certified. I may have mentioned in one of my videos that I have an HR, human resources background. So I'm in the process of getting certified in SHRMS. It's a certification for HR professionals. And so I've been studying for that. That's been also consuming a lot of my time for the past 3 months. I have a boot camp class that I'm taking next week. And then the following week, I will be taking my exam. It is a 4-hour exam. You know, we've been told it's a difficult exam, but I'm trying not to have a negative perspective on this exam. I want to go in there with a positive mindset, knowing that I'm going to pass. You know, I've been in the HR field for almost 17 years, and that's going all the way back to my military time, to when I transitioned to civilian life. So most of my jobs on the civilian side have been in HR department. So I felt like it was time for me to get certified. It's not required for my current position that I have, but it is something that I would like to do to hopefully advance my career once I do leave this particular company, because I never say I'm going to retire at a particular place. I do want to maybe do some consulting in the future, and this certification will help me out. So if you would send all those positive vibes for me to pass my tests, I would appreciate it. I would love those to come my way. But I've been studying very hard. I actually have an app that I've been using that gives you questions, quiz, test questions, just back to back, to just get that information in my head. So that's what I've been doing as well. So I am here. I don't know how frequently I will post a video because I am still studying for that test, but I will try my best to get it all together and continue to keep providing you with content here on this channel. So I thank you all for joining me. This is a little bit longer than normal, but I thank you for being here, pressing the play button. And if you have not subscribed, or maybe you may have unsubscribed because you're not sure where I was at, well, I'm still here. Just hit that subscribe button and join me as I continue my journey in sewing, and come check me out from time to time. I thank you all so much for being here, and have a lovely day.
Yeah.